Hello, everybody. I'm waiting for people to get in here. I see Richard is here already. Hello, hello, hello. We have some things to talk about today. We have earthquakes to talk about. So let me share this off to some different sites real quick so that people know that we are live. So give me 1 second. Ugh. Okay, so I'm sharing this to some Facebook groups. These earthquakes don't really surprise me all that much. However, Taiwan just had a bad earthquake, you guys. Okay, so I am here. I've got everything up. I see there's 2 people watching right now. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Yes, please hit the subscribe button, the share button, and the like button. That helps out quite a bit. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is these are the earthquakes which have occurred since the 7th. Okay? First one being the Caribbean Sea and the last one being Taiwan. Now, we had talked about the fact that there had been an earthquake in Colombia. We had talked about, at that time, I said to watch the South Sandwich Islands, because the South Sandwich Islands should get hit as well, as far up as Mexico. The area that actually got hit, which I noticed, and let me see here, I'll go back a little bit further. I'm going to go back to the first. Okay, so we're going to go back to the first so we can see all of these in here. As y'all can see, Atacama, Chile got hit. Okay, then we had another earthquake. The first was the south of Panama. Then Atacama, Chile got hit. So if you're looking at it on a map, it goes from this way to this way. Okay, so we had this area get hit. This area over here did get hit after the area that I was looking at here got hit. So there has been the 3. It did triangulate like I thought it would. And then when I said to watch Mexico, here, there was actually an earthquake over in the Caribbean. So we did look at those. So I'm going to go over each and every one of these. So we're going to go from, that's today. Let's go to the 7th. And I actually did the 7th, so I'm going to re-download this. So watch how we do this. Okay, so this is delete. Watch that. Goodbye. Okay, so I'm going to show you all how we do this. Go up here, go to export as KML, click on that. Goes to Google Earth. Change this, properties. Do style, color, still, there. Now I want to make these bigger so I can see them bigger. So let me see here. Whoops, come here. Come here, we're going over here. We're not going over there. We're going over here. So I can see where the green ones are. And then we can show you how big I'm going to make them. So I'm going to make these bigger so that I can actually see them. Alright, so we can see where the hits were, because I'm making these bigger on the map. Okay, alright. So when we're looking here, we can see there were a few that hit here. In this area, there was 1, 2, 3. That's where the 5.6 hit. South Sandwich Islands. Drake Passage. Drake Passage was hit. Then we have Atacama, Chile that got hit. This triangulated here. And we had South Panama. We had Colombia. And we had the Caribbean Sea. So those are the 3 big ones which hit here. So we're going to go over here to our dates. And starting on the 1st, we had the 5.2 Samoa Islands region. And I said that there would be an earthquake up in this direction. We had a 5.9 Hokkaido, Japan region, which is over here. Then we had the Kermadec Islands. So we've had a lot of bouncing around of the plates. The next day, we had a 5.8, Dodecanese Islands, Turkey region border. If I'm thinking correctly, this might be the other side of the planet. Then we had a 5.0, Eastern New Guinea, Papua New Guinea, which was over here, followed by Bougainville region, Papua New Guinea. Notice triangulation here. Then we had a 5.0, Japan region. Ha! Richard, how'd you get kicked out, put in another channel, and come back? Well, that's weird. Alright. Well, glad you're back. Okay, then we had a 5.2, Seram, Indonesia. That was followed by a 5.0, Santa Cruz Islands. We can see that there's the 5.2, Vanuatu. Then there was a 5.0, Yunnan, China. Okay, so next day, we're on the 5th now. 5.7, south of Panama. Here we go. Then there was a 5.0, New Britain region, Papua New Guinea. So that ends our triangle here. Then we had the 6.4, Atacama, Chile. If you can tell, this one was up further. So we're looking here. We can see this one here. Then you can see the Panama earthquake was here. So it was 1, 2, back 3. Okay, so then we had the 5.9 south of Fiji Islands. Then we had a 5.1 in the Caribbean Sea. So that's where the third one is. So that triangled that. Then we had a 5.0, Eastern New Guinea, Papua New Guinea. Note the triangle. Then we had a 5.0, Kyrgyzstan. That was followed by a 5.5, Mid-Indian Ridge. And then a 5.5, Drake Passage. The next earthquake was a 5.3 in the Aegean Sea. Hello, Sage Pup. How are you doing? The next one was a 6.2, Western Indian Antarctic Ridge. Now, I'm going to back up here. I'm going to show y'all something here. If you notice the path and the directions here, this will continue going around. We should see another earthquake within this region here. The next earthquake was a 5.3, Roto region, North Mariana Islands. This was on the 8th, so these earthquakes are on the 8th. The next earthquake was a 5.3, north of Franz Josef Land. And it's near the East Gakkel Ridge. 5.2, Western Indian Antarctic Ridge. These earthquakes have kind of been all over the place. There was quite a few here on the Indian Antarctic Ridge. Then a 6.3 in Colombia. That marks the third one. There we go. So we got one, the one down here, the one down here. So it's 1, 2. So it started off with 1, 2, 3. And then the fourth one, which is here. The next one was a 5.1 Pacific Antarctic Ridge. The next earthquake was a 5.9 Western Indian Antarctic Ridge. And the next one was a 5.5 Western Indian Antarctic Ridge. And I've showed those three already. The next one was a 5.9 Mindoro, Philippines. And this one was on the 9th. On the 10th, we had 3. 5.4 South Sandwich Islands, a 5.6 South Sandwich Islands, and a 5.1 South Sandwich Islands. I expected those to occur. I was actually looking for a 6 to 6.5, so 3 have occurred, 1 was a 5.6. Today's earthquakes have been a 5.2 in Vanuatu, and a 5.9 in Taiwan. So I'm going to look up the 5.9 in Taiwan because I'm hearing that it caused really bad shaking. So Taiwan was rattled. So we're going to look at this real quick. This is the area where it was hit. It says Taiwan struck by 5.9 magnitude earthquake Tuesday evening, according to USGS. Taipei, Taiwan was struck by a 5.9 magnitude earthquake Tuesday evening, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. The earthquake was detected at 71 kilometers or 44.1 miles south of Hulan City, at a depth of 31.1 kilometers or 19.3 miles. Hulan is relatively thinly populated compared to the highly congested west side of the island of 23 million people, which is frequently struck by earthquakes. The quake hit seconds after cell phone alarms went off at 7:01 p.m. Buildings in the capital of Taipei shook for about a minute. There were no immediate reports of major damage. Taiwan's Central Weather Administration gave the magnitude a 6.4. Such variations are common given differences in sensitivity and detector locations. Taiwan lies along the Pacific Ring of Fire, a line of seismic faults encircling the Pacific Ocean from Chile to New Zealand, where most of the world's earthquakes occur. Taiwan's worst modern earthquake was in 1999. It was a magnitude 7.7 that killed 2,415 people. It damaged buildings and led to tightened building codes, better response time, and coordination and widespread public education programs on earthquake safety. Schools and workplaces hold earthquake drills while cell phones buzz whenever a strong earthquake is detected. Earthquake damage since then has been significantly reduced. So this earthquake did not cause major damage as far as I am seeing. Firefighters were dispatched to check the impact of the moderate quake, which hit 71 kilometers south of Hulan City. It struck off the island's east coast at a depth of 31 kilometers. When the earthquake struck, computer screen and fan shook heavily, said a firefighter in the coastal town of Chengang. It was much stronger than previous quakes, and they immediately thought about running outside. The Hulan and Taitong fire departments stated there was no immediate reports of damage or casualties. Evening services along the eastern railway lines were running normally after the quake, which the USGS reported hit at 7 p.m. Taitong firefighters said 25 firefighters, including volunteers, and 5 vehicles had been dispatched to the coastal areas closest to the closest to the epicenter to check for damage. Because the area is remote and distances between the locations are long, it will take much more time to reach each site. The earthquake was felt throughout Taiwan, said the Island Seismological Agency, which issued an alert to the public seconds before it struck. Taiwan is frequently hit by earthquakes due to its location on the edge of 2 tectonic plates near the Pacific Ring of Fire. So you can see the tectonic plates. There's one that comes through this way, one that goes this way. So this one here is the Eurasian-Philippine plate convergent boundary. And this one here is the Philippine-Sunda convergent boundary. So these are the 2 different plates. The last major earthquake occurred April 2024 when the island was hit by a deadly 7.4 magnitude tremor. They said that it was the strongest in 25 years. At least 17 people were killed in that quake, which triggered landslides and severely damaged buildings around Hulawan. It was the most serious earthquake in Taiwan since the 7.6 magnitude tremor that struck in 1999. Some 2,400 people died in 1999. That made it the deadliest natural disaster in the island's history. Since then, Taiwan has updated its building codes. This area, famous for cutting-edge tech firms, Taiwan has built up advanced early warning systems that can alert the public to potentially serious ground shaking within seconds. The system has been enhanced over the years to incorporate new tools such as smartphones, high-speed data connectivity, even in some of the remote parts of the island. Okay, so I'm also getting some kind of news that California, and I want to look this up too, faults. Almost half of California's faults, including San Andreas, are overdue for earthquakes. California's earthquakes are far likely to be overdue compared to the earthquakes in the rest of the world. So let's go to California here. We can come over here and we can see the fault systems here in California. California is an earthquake oddball, and the state's faults are more likely to be overdue compared to faults everywhere else in the world, new research has found. The study could help geoscientists make more accurate calculations of when faults are likely to break and cause earthquakes. Even in California, research author Vasiliki Muslopoulou, a research geoscientist at the National Observatory of Athens, Greece, and I apologize for butchering that name. The main message to take away is that everyone could benefit, including California. Muslopoulou and her co-authors were interested in studying the reoccurrence intervals between earthquakes on faults with a long geological record of their ruptures. Earthquake scientists use these records to calculate the chance of the future quakes on the fault, by comparing the time since the last known major earthquakes to an average time between two large earthquakes on a fault throughout history. If the rocks of the fault show signs of rupturing every 150 years, and it's been 200 years since the last earthquake, that quake is said to be overdue. Many of California's faults, including the southern portion of San Andreas, are overdue. She and her colleagues wanted to compare this overdue pattern to patterns in other regions of the world. They gathered records from the state and 4 other quake-prone regions, Japan, Greece, New Zealand, and the Basin and Range Province, which covers much of Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and northwestern Mexico. These geological records come from the trenches that were dug into fault lines so researchers can see when and where the ground broke in the past. The study showed that while 45% of California's faults are overdue, compared with the mean duration of their seismic cycle, faults in the rest of the world are early. Less than 20% were overdue in each of the other regions studied. The research reported April 18th in the journal JGR Solid Earth. Okay, so they're saying that that may be an issue because California's earthquake data feeds into seismic forecast models for faults around the world. This means the models may be skewed by California's current outlier patterns. She and her colleagues suggest that to better understand faults globally, researchers may use the elapsed time between historic rupture and their next to last events. Rather than time elapsed since the most recent quake, this method best predicts the earthquake's pattern actually seen as faults outside California. One reason California is an earthquake outlier is the San Andreas Fault, and the faults around it are fast-slipping faults, meaning that they move quickly and generate earthquakes regularly. These relatively frequent earthquake reoccurrence means there's good historical and geological record of quakes on these faults. In comparison, a slow fault that generates an earthquake every 10,000 years offers far fewer historical comparisons. Geologists will be lucky to glean even 1 or 2 earthquake records from that fault, much less to demonstrate that it is overdue for an earthquake. California is currently in a quiescent period for quakes, but that likely won't last forever. There's some evidence that San Andreas quakes are becoming supercycles, that they come in supercycles or clusters. No one knows what drives these patterns, but they may be linked to a giant subduction zone off California's coast, where the Pacific Ocean floor grinds under the North American continent. Thus, in the long term, California is not likely to keep up this overdue pattern. If it ends up in a more active phase, it will probably fall closer in line with faults around the rest of the world. The next stop is to compare California's fast faults to other fast slip systems around the world, such as Turkey's Anatolia region or the subduction zones such as the one off the coast of Chile. It will be very interesting to see how those fast-moving faults and regions compare to California's faults. And this comes from Live Science and from the journal, as stated, JGR Solid Earth. Okay, so I was looking for something else, but that is coming from one site, and there is reason to believe that this area is about to become very active. So that is something to keep an eye on as we've been watching the earthquakes there be active. Hello everybody, welcome into the channel. So now we are going to check our weather news. See what's going on earthquakey wise, hurricaney wise. So we have nothing over here in the Atlantic, which is good news. But we do have Cosme, which looks like it has become post-tropical. And then we also have a disturbance over here. And this one here is south of southern Mexico, and it's an area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. And as I had showed on my live stream a while back, these two will cancel each other out, so these two will die. I do not know about this one yet, so we will see what happens with this one. This one here has a 20% chance of formation. This one still has a 90% chance of formation. So let's look at windy, because that's what I usually go to see what's going to happen over here. So we can see this one here. We can see this one here. So let's see. Here we go with these ones. I'm going to back out a little bit so I can see them a little better. And we're just going to play and see what happens. So you can see these are here. This one's going to get torn apart. So there we go. Goodbye. This one's still active up here. We have another one over here. This one looks like it may form into something. Let's see where this one's going. And this one could end up dying as well, but from what I'm seeing right now, it's going offshore, and it looks like it is going to die. Where all the storms go to die. It's a fishy storm. But we still need to keep an eye out over here. Because this looks like one starting right here. And this is on the 17th, 18th. We had a bad one come from there last year, so we'll see what happens with this. But that's future casting, so I won't go this far out to future cast it. You just have to keep an eye on this, and that one looks like it wrecked itself. So you just have to keep an eye out, because anything coming from here is something to worry about. Alright, so what's going on with Oregon Live Earthquake Map? See if we've had anything East Coast that we need to look at. Oh, we had an earthquake up here. That was yesterday. There was a 2.8, 9 kilometers north-northwest of Forksville, Pennsylvania. Let's go look at this on Google Earth. See where they say it is. Well, it looks like farming up here. What's this over here? Well, yeah. Could be electric. Let's see here. Easy way to find that out. Well, I guess there's no view for that area. Or maybe I didn't turn those on. Huh. Let's see. Nope, there is no view for that area. Can't go on that road. Don't bother. Google didn't take pictures. Okay, so back to this. Saw that one. Don't see anything up there. We'll have to look at NR Canada. See what NR Canada's got. This one was yesterday as well as 1.7. Tellico Plains, Tennessee. So that's right on the border with North Carolina and Tennessee. And then there was day before a 1.8, 5 kilometers south of Caraway, Arkansas. Then we still have quite a bit of earthquakes going on here in Arkansas. No, sorry, Oklahoma. It's the Arkansas River. Duh. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so they're still having earthquakes over here in Oklahoma. There was a 1.3. 1.1, that was on the 9th, but this one was on the 10th. This one was on the 10th as well as a 1.1. This one was on the 9th. What was this one? There's another one over here. That one was on the 10th. It was a 1.4. 7 kilometers south-southeast of Oilton, Oklahoma. And you got to think about the fact that they've been having tornadoes as well. So what we have over here? On the 9th, we had a 2.8, 32 kilometers west-southwest of Raton, New Mexico. Wow, busy planet. Busy planet, busy world. All right, so how are you guys doing? Hope y'all are doing well. I am going to save this as a video on my channel. Feel free to share it. I hope y'all are doing well. Richard, thank you for being here and modding. Sage Pup, thank you for being here and modding. Just wanted to get these earthquakes out there for you guys and give y'all a live stream for the day. No, my live stream isn't very long. However, doesn't take forever to sit there and talk about earthquakes that have happened in the world. Anyways, you guys, I love you. If you haven't, check out my good news video. And I will see you all tomorrow. I think tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is the 12th. So tomorrow's Thursday. I will see you guys in the afternoon tomorrow. Probably for a live stream and maybe a video update. Anyways, you guys, I love you. Please remember to tell someone you love them. Tomorrow is never promised. And make each day the best that it can be. Much love. Oh, you want me to show Canada? Yes, I'll show Canada. Okay. Ooh, New Brunswick, Canada guy says we are due for a 7 off of Newfoundland. It seems it happens every 100 years. Last time Last two times were 1825 and 1929. Whoa. Let's hope we don't see anything off of Canada. So let's go to NR Canada. If I can spell. Today, I can't spell. Tomorrow, maybe I can spell. All right. Where's NR Canada? Okay, I'm missing NR Canada. There we go. Let's do that one. Okay, within the past month, we all have had some earthquakes today. All right, today is the 11th, and there has been a 1.2, 31 kilometers northwest of Maniwaki. I believe that's British. No, where is that? Queen Charlotte, right? QC is Queen. QC is Queen Charlotte, right? I think. Oops. Okay, so that is a 3.1 right there. When did that happen? That happened yesterday. That was 6:10. So this was the 10th. That's a 2.3, which happened also on the 10th. So let's look at the 10th. The 10th was busy. Y'all had a 2.4 suspected industry-related event. 20 kilometers south of Halfway River. Okay, so let's go look. Industry-related event. Sure, looks like oil and fracking, maybe. Industry-related event. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's industry, all right. What we got here? Too bad we don't have, like, good pictures. But there's no names on it either. What is this? This looks like pipeline. So that's pipeline. That looks like oil. Fracking. Okay, so what else we got? All right, so there was a 2.2. All right, so there was a 2.4, a 2.6, and a 3.1 that are all suspected, but this is different area. But this first one here, which was on the 9th, was Grand Prairie. This one's Grand Cache, and this is Halfway River. So this was a 3.1, which occurred yesterday. Let's see where this location is. Whoa, dude. Lots of fracking over here. Oil, 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 oil. Yep, industry related. Look at all these pads out here. Then there was a 3.2, 218 kilometers southwest of Tofino. Let's go see where this one is. Oops. Whoa, that's like way out there. Okay, that's different. That's near the Endeavor, halfway between the Endeavor Seamount and Juan de Fuca and the North American Juan de Fuca convergent boundary. That's the Endeavor Seamount right there. The Endeavor Seamount lies near the northern end of the Juan de Fuca, west of the coast of Washington and southwest of Vancouver Island. I was thinking it would be more towards land here. And there was also a 2.3. Just say it. So yesterday was busy as well because there was a 2.4, 2.2, 2.6, 2.5. Port Alice, BC. Well, good that nobody lives there. They didn't feel it. Maybe some poor seals and stuff felt it. That's a hilly area. That was volcanic. New Brunswick, Canada guy says we had a 6.9 on Charles Gibb fracture zone a couple months back. If you go directly east from it, across Canada, it lines up with all the wildfires in the north. I believe that that is partially to be responsible because of the fact that magma heats up the earth. So I think we're going to see more and more fires. Anyways, you guys, that is my update for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for checking in. I hope y'all are doing well. You look like you've been getting quite a few earthquakes over towards your way, Richard. Anyways, you guys, I will be back tomorrow. And you expect Haida Gwaii will get a big quake by the end of the year? Boy, let's hope not, but I will be the first to congratulate you if you're right. Anyways, you guys, I love you, and I will be back tomorrow in the afternoon. And also, just so you guys know, I do go over Canada's earthquakes because we do have a moderator who is on this channel from Canada, and as well as a group for Canadians. Anyways, you guys, I love you. Please tell someone you love them. Tomorrow's never promised, and make each day the best that you can. Richard, thank you for being here. New Brunswick, Canada guy, thank you for being here. My other mods, thank you for being here. And for other people who've checked in, I appreciate you watching. Please remember to give a like, subscribe, and share if you're not already. Well, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Anyways, you guys, I will talk to you guys either later today if there's another big earthquake or something big in the news, or tomorrow. Anyways, you guys, I will see y'all later. Much love.